You've finally made it. Commissioned as an officer. You expect strategy briefings. Maybe a stiff drink. Instead, an argument about the precise shade of pink on your regiment's collar. Sounds ridiculous, right? Stay with me, because this exact kind of madness is playing out today in your marketing meeting, your email threads, and yes, your choice of font. This is The Absurd Lens, and we unpack the psychology behind the seemingly trivial, but deeply human, stuff we do every day. In the 18th and 19th centuries, European armies were obsessed with cohesion. Uniforms weren't fashion, they were identity, discipline, psychological warfare. But there was a catch: uniform didn't mean uniform. No central factories. No Pantone swatches. Just tailors, dyes, and guesswork. So dark blue might be navy, or almost black. Red could be crimson or tomato. And pink? Good luck agreeing on what that meant. Each officer, especially in places like Prussia, Austria, or Britain, often purchased his own uniform from a private tailor. And without a universal color standard, what you got was an unintentional art gallery of interpretation. The result? Officers arguing about whether their collars were the right pink. One claims his was dyed in the Prussian method. Another swears by a centuries-old swatch. Is it regulation pink? Or too salmon? Each one absolutely certain he's right. And here's the twist: this isn't a failure of the system. This is the system, once you had humans. Quick question: what's your version of this pink piping debate? Fonts, branding, email sign-offs. Drop it in the comments. I want to hear what hill people are dying on in your world. See, when everyone is supposed to look the same, we instinctively search for small, socially acceptable ways to express difference. That collar color. That stitching detail. That slightly sharper cut of your coat. That's not rebellion, that's artistry. It's identity. It's the system working exactly as humans make it work. In his world, what matters isn't just the functional, it's the symbolic. When you can't signal status through rank alone, you do it through nuance. Through interpretation. Through color. Why does this happen? 3 big reasons. First, there's what's called the IKEA effect. We tend to overvalue things we've customized ourselves. When an officer chooses a tailor, selects a fabric, and oversees the fit of his uniform, that uniform becomes a reflection of his taste. His decisions. His identity. Then there's social identity theory. Once we belong to a group, like a regiment, we want to differentiate within it. And when direct competition isn't allowed, we signal with details. So we look for ways to subtly outperform our peers, especially when overt competition is off limits. And then, there's status signaling. In environments where everyone technically has the same title, the same coat, and the same rules, anything that offers the illusion of better becomes gold. That pink piping might not matter on the battlefield, but in the officer's mess. It's everything. So no, it's not just petty. It's how humans play status games in systems that reward sameness. If you're finding value in this breakdown, hit like. It helps the channel and tells the algorithm you're into this kind of content. Fast forward to today. You get the job, the promotion, the title. You're now a part of management. Congratulations. And suddenly, you're in a 2-hour meeting. About which blue to use in the new slide deck. Navy or Royale. The topic isn't color. It's control. It's identity. It's influence. Just like those officers, we live in systems that encourage conformity, uniforms, brands, rules, and then instinctively look for cracks where we can squeeze in a little bit of ourselves. That's why people argue about fonts. That's why marketing departments spend weeks choosing between modern minimalism and heritage serif. That's why your team's Slack channels end up with internal style guides emoji rules, and debates over whether ASAP is too aggressive. What looks like triviality is often territory. It's people marking their place in systems that make them look like everyone else. Uniforms promised unity, but also demanded negotiation. The real war wasn't always on the battlefield, it was often in the tailor's shop. Or the officers' club. Or today, in a Zoom call about PowerPoint headers. We standardize because it makes life easier. It keeps supply chains tight, organizations smooth. But no matter how rigid the system, we always leave fingerprints. We don't just want to belong. We want to belong with distinction. So next time you catch yourself in a meeting, thinking, why are we wasting time on this detail? Pause. You may be looking at your version of the pink piping debate. It's frustrating. It's silly. And it's deeply, irreversibly human. And that brings us to you. So, what's the absurd detail people obsess over in your world? Is it email sign-offs? Is it color schemes? Is it the correct use of a semicolon in internal documentation? Tell us in the comments, seriously, I read them. Share your version of the Great Pink Debate. And if you like finding deep meaning in the bizarre, the absurd, and the oddly profound, subscribe, like, and hit that bell. Because we'll be back with more stories that sound ridiculous. Until you realize they're about all of us. See you soon.